There it goes.
There
No
we are.
music. We don't need music today.
No.
I'm Dan. Who the hell are you?
I'm Adam. I'm going to turn this background off because with the microphone and the headphones, it makes my head look weird.
Your
When I'm by
headphones
myself,
are blending in with it a little bit.
they do, yeah. When I'm by myself, it's fine. But let's let people see
Oh, there we go.
let's let people see
That's
the
weird.
boring
Wonder why
room
the
behind me.
headphones are blending in. They're not at all the same color as your backdrop.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know.
Modern technology.
This is a combined feed, by the way. This is a Stuff It Old Man Squad crossover edition because it's really at this point like I called it the Last Chance podcast because for a lot of folks, this is the last time they're going to be making any kind of decisions for their head-to-head finals, right? Like,
Yeah,
you make your moves today, Saturday. Maybe do you save one to Sunday? Before we get to the questions, I'm curious about your strategy right now. How do you handle this final 3-day burst if you're in your finals week?
yeah. Look, it's tricky. I'm just pulling up the schedule now, so because I know I've been doing a lot of these shows, obviously.
Yeah.
For whatever reason. What is the date? It's the 20th.
Yeah.
It's the 20th over there, isn't it? Yeah,
it
okay.
is. Yeah, you're on the 21st. I know.
We are on the 21st. So I'm just looking at the schedule here because that factors into it at this time of year because you don't want to stream someone in when there's 12 games on because you might not use that person anyway. So it's not. I think that's sort of one big takeaway here is it's not as simple as just looking at player A has 2 games, player B has 3 games, because it really depends when those games are. So, for example, if you can get a guy that's playing tonight and Sunday, you're much better than getting a guy playing tonight and tomorrow, for example, because tomorrow has 10 games, whereas Sunday has 5. So that's sort of something that I do look at. During the season, I don't worry about it as much, but this time of year, you need every point, every rebound you can get. So that is one thing I would say.
We're all going to be beating ourselves up if we do something where you make a move and like you end up playing the wrong guy or whatever. But like, look, it is what it is. All we can do is our best right now. And I agree with you. Friday, Sunday is better too because then you eliminate for a lot of teams. A couple teams go back-to-back Sunday, Monday, so that kind of screws up that part of it. But like back-to-backs are weird this time of year. Half of teams just stop playing in them. So if you can get guys that have 2 games with a day in between, they have that rest day. You got a much likely or a higher probability of those guys actually playing the rest of the way. My only thing that I would add is really make sure you're streaming the categories you need. I know that seems very straightforward, but like don't look at the rankings specifically. I find it very useful to go to the Yahoo free agent page and just sort by, who has the most assists over the last 2 weeks, who has the most steals, blocks, rebounds, whatever. And it's not going to be perfect. You could kind of sift through them. There are some that are, like make sure they've played in 6 games over that span and not 2. So you're getting the right sample size. But don't look at rank right now. It means almost nothing at all, other than like a handful of guys that are popping up that might have kind of rest of season appeal. I'll tell you what, the weirdest thing happens these days when I sit in this office chair. Suddenly my sinuses just explode. And I've got to figure out what it is around me here that's doing it because I was fine until we turned on the show. And now, like, I feel like my ears are going to explode. But whatever, we're going to get through this thing. Let's go to the board. We've got about 40 minutes or so of show. I'm sure questions are going to be popping up left and right. We'll start at the top. Guys, if you want your question to jump to the top, you can do a super. You don't have to. We're going to try to get to a lot of these. But again, we do have a hard out time today. Jay says, hey, guys, I'm up 35 points, tied for blocks and down 0.004 on field goal percent. Close one. Yeah, you said it. But who's my target? Mitch Robb or Christian Brown? I'm dropping Diabate. I'll also be able to stream one game on Sunday. Well, Mitchell Robinson falls into that category of guys you were talking about that goes every other day. I think Brown does as well. But like with Mitchell Robinson, it's a big deal because he isn't playing back-to-backs. My answer to this is, do you care about points or do you want to just go for the blocks and the field goal percent? Because that makes the question a whole hell of a lot easier. Like Christian Brown is going to outscore Mitchell Robinson by probably 15 points in his 2 games, but Mitchell Robinson's likely to get an extra, what do we think, like 8 rebounds over Brown and a much more reliable field goal percent guy. I probably go Mitch Rob and just go for 2 of those 3, but I don't know. Where do you stand on this one?
Yeah, it's a tricky one. Mitch Robb is the obvious one, and if Carl Anthony Towns doesn't play tonight, he's questionable. I think still with personal due to personal reasons. So I don't know what that is, but if he doesn't play, then absolutely Mitchell Robinson. As you talked about there with the back to backs, they're not on a back to back. They do
Right.
play Friday, Sunday. I would just be cautious though. They play Brooklyn and Washington. So even if he plays tonight, if Cat is back, there is a chance they just give him a random day off because they don't need him to play against Tristan Vukcevic and Juju Reese. So that I'm not. I don't think there's a guarantee that you get 2 games of Mitchell Robinson here, even though they're not on a back to back. But
What a time.
if Towns is out tonight, then I mean against Brooklyn, God, Mitchell Robinson could have 14 points, 18 rebounds, and 6 blocks or something. So he really could help you tonight.
You got a thank you post here from Shining Knight before we go to the next one. Mike Shepard said, "You guys rock." I have Gobert and Randall heading into finals week next week. Twice weekly waivers, aka best case, can turn their 2 games into 5. Are you dropping or holding Rudy Gobert and Julius Randle during their 2-game week next week? Oh, yikes. I'm probably holding. Where are you with these guys?
If you can turn 2 into 5, I think on paper I would do that, but it depends who's available in your league. If they're just scrubs that you're sort of picking up in the hope that, hey, maybe I get 3 good games out of this guy or 2 of 3, it could be risky because Gobert and Randall are fairly certain things to. I mean, we know what stats they're going to put up, but I mean, yeah, 5 games is certainly far better than 2, obviously. So I do it if the person you're picking up is somewhat of a guarantee.
Next one on the board is Shining Knight. He gave you a thank you. Now he's got a question. When do you reckon it being worth it to drop players for streamers? Well, without looking at your team specifically, typically the age-old adage is a top 50 guy in a 2-game week is still sufficient because you pick up a 4-gamer, you're probably going to get about the same amount of stuff and you've used a roster move. If you have like a top 80 guy with a 2-game week, and I realize Gobert is around 100, but a lot of that is his miserable free throw percent this year. So just looking at this list, Jamal Murray, Denny Avdia, Guy Santos, Asar Thompson, Jakob Pertl, Kevin Durant, Kevin Porter Jr., Jalen Johnson, Wemby, Kyle Filipowski, Josh Giddey, Jalen Suggs, VJ Edgecombe, Darius Garland, DeJounte Murray. None of these guys are like what you'd call obvious streamers, but if Asar Thompson or Guy Santos went into a poor part of their schedule, you could turn those guys into streamers. I don't know. Do you have anything to paint over that with?
There's additional parts to this question, which I'm just reading through here on the side.
You can pop them up too if you want.
Yeah. So 2-week finals matchup. Garland, KPJ, and DeJounte Murray being consistently injured. I reckon I may need to stream a bit. Does have 2 IR slots, and here is sort of the situation in terms of the categories ahead in, and it's a 10-team league as well, so a little bit shallower. Free throw percentage, rebounds, assists, blocks, behind in field goal percentage, threes and steals. 1 steal, turnovers and points. Okay. Opponent has Luka.
Too bad.
Luka.
So does mine, bud. So does mine. I got my 1 team in the finals of my 2 head-to-head leagues, and I'm winning 5-4, but by the skin of my teeth, man.
Yeah.
Freaking Luka.
I don't think either of my opponents this week have Luka, which I'm thankful for. Heading through the look, I mean, if I was just looking at this team list here in terms of who is streamable at some point, I think we can eliminate quite a few of these guys. Jamal Murray, I'm not dropping him or opening up his spot.
Yeah.
Kevin Durant, Jalen Johnson, Wemby, Giddey at the moment. Suggs probably not. VJ, no, not with Maxey out. Yeah, I mean, it's those injured guys. I'm probably holding Pirtle as well. He's playing really well at the moment. So yeah, possibly it is. I mean, have a look at the schedule, but maybe it is a DeJounte that you could look at moving. Filipowski actually hasn't been great. He's the one that there I think you could consider, or possibly Santos. Do you think Santos is must roster rest of season?
I don't. I think he was on an epic heater for a little while there, and I feel like we're kind of seeing the very reasonable come back down to earth where some of the boards, assists, steals, and the percentages have kind of leveled off a bit. He seems like a top 100 guy though, which I guess that should be a yes. It's a yes in Roto. Head to head, it's a little more complicated because you got to make sure everything lines up right. Although Golden State's schedule is pretty good these days for anybody that's not resting back to backs, I guess. Just half of their damn team. All right, we can do the next one.
All right, yeah, let's go to this one.
Let's do the Lolo Llama. Should I add Olivier Maxence Prosper or Jay Huff for next week in the playoffs? I have an extra ad as I'm winning my current week. It's a points league. I got to look at next week's schedules. Yeah, Indy's got 4. Memphis has 4. And Zubats is back out now with a new injury.
Yeah.
I mean,
do you think someone? I was listening to Alex Barutha and Kirian on the RotoWire show while I was doing my grocery shopping this morning. I was wandering around listening to their dulcet tones, and Alex suggested that someone took to Ivica Zubats with a hammer to get him out of the lineup. And
he was playing every day.
He was far too much.
He wasn't having it. Well, they've still lost 14 games in a row, so that all's well that ends well in Indiana. Yeah. I think I would lean towards Jay Huff and hope you catch lightning in a bottle for a day, because these guys are like points leagues. It's less fun because Jay Huff lightning is like 3 3-pointers and 4 blocks, and a 9-cat it's like wow, and at points league you're like all right, but like Olivier Maxence Prosper is the least inspiring player I can think of as a pickup. He's on every wire, and he'll be just totally okay in every ball game he plays. Screw okay. Shoot the moon, Lolo Llama. Let's go back to Mike Shepard. Go to you
Paul
on this
Reed.
One. Yeah.
Paul Reed worth a grab. Stewart, or will Stewart be back? We don't really have an update on Stewart as far as I know.
Although Durant is questionable for Detroit's game tonight.
Yeah, that whole situation's weird. Durant is questionable. I mean, Paul Reed, he was good yesterday. Was it yesterday? Yeah, yesterday they played.
But there was a lot of blowout going on there.
There was. I think if Duran misses a game here, then absolutely you have to get Paul Reed. If Duran is back and there's no issue, I'm not running to grab Paul Reed. He hasn't sort of played this significant role with Stewart out. Yesterday was fine, but prior to that, he hadn't done a lot.
Yep, I'm with you on that one. Dylan, would you drop Javon Small for Jalen Wells? I don't know. Would I trade a golden Oreo for a regular Oreo? It's like, oh, Adam, is it okay if my answer is I don't care? Like, what are we doing here? These guys are like, thumping along for Memphis. Both of them have been fully fine. By the way, their rank over the last 10 ball games, Javon Small is 74th. Jalen Wells is 76th.
There you go.
Small has been better at assists. Wells has been better at field goal percent, but that actually feels kind of fluky. And he scored a little bit better. I'd probably go Javon Small because assists are a little harder to get, but like I don't think it's worth using a roster move on this.
Yeah, I don't think. I think I would prefer Small slightly, but as you said, you're wasting a roster move on a kind of a linear move. So you're not necessarily upgrading here. You're just getting the same player back. So
yeah, get 2.5 more points.
yeah. So I wouldn't worry too much here.
Yeah. Let's see. Back to Shining Knight. Also in a 4-punt build. All right, this is your question. Have at it.
Yep.
The floor is yours.
Okay, 4-punt build. Would I prefer Casey Wallace, Chris Dunn, John Conchar, Herb Jones, Keon Ellis for defensive stats, or is it a schedule play? I think it's probably a schedule play here. All of these guys have upside to get you 2 to 3 assists on any given night. I would say if you're looking at just, I guess, maximizing your opportunities here, I would maybe think Herb Jones has the best opportunity, just given he's starting and playing, generally plays 30 minutes. Case and Wallace is sort of dependent on who else is available. Chris Dunn is fine. He's better when Kawhi is out. Conchar is in and out, injured, up, down.
I kind of
Keon
like Herb
Ellis.
these days. I'm
Yeah.
softening my stance on Herb. I've warmed
He's
up to
been
him
okay. I think he would be my preference. I think if you're just looking at maximizing, as I said, minutes, games played, it would be Herb. But other than that, yeah, go and look at the schedule and see who's playing, who they're playing, because that could impact it as well, the minutes. So,
and heaven forbid,
all viable.
If Herb has one game where he shoots over 47% from the field, I mean, the sky's the limit. Guy can't shoot his way out of a paper bag. And you know who can't shoot his way out of any bag is Tari Eason. Good heavens.
Oh,
what are we doing? How do you shoot? He was been a 38, 39% for the year, and we're just like, well, it's got to get better. And then it just gets worse.
It's getting worse. Yeah.
It's getting worse. I don't know how this is possible. Would you add Melton for next week? Do you think it sits any games as the Warriors don't have a back-to-back? Is it worth the risk? I'm going to say yes. Even if he sits one of the four, I think 3 of Melton is still good enough for a week. Agree?
I think so. They do play Brooklyn and Washington, so possibly he sits for one of those. I think he plays against Dallas and Denver. So, but yeah, 3 games of Melton is probably okay.
And they're a half game back of the Blazers, so I think they'd like to try to jump them if possible. Possibility of Taylor Hendricks playing the back-to-back. He actually played in their last one, but not the one before that, which was part of a 4 games and 5 nights set. I think I'm going to say it's like a 60% chance he does.
Yeah. Yeah, I would take the over-under on him playing the back-to-back next week, which I'm assuming they have. Do they? They do.
They've got one now. They've got one today.
Oh, they're on one today. Okay.
Yeah, next Friday, Saturday too. Yep. And they've got good opponents today and tomorrow. So, like, there's no fear of him accidentally winning them a game. So that's also helpful. Oh, a roto question. That means it's me. Thoughts on dropping Jarris Walker for Jalen Slauson? What a time of year this truly is. My team needs blocks. Field goal, free throw is suffering a bit with Walker. Other drop options, Diabate. I'm totally fine with dropping Jarris Walker for whatever your team needs. He is not a good roto guy because his percentages are hot garbage. 43% from the field, 69% of the free throw line over the last month. I don't care if you're getting 14, 8, and 4. If you're tanking 2 to 3 categories, you're not a good choice for roto. So would I tell you need to go get Jalen Slauson? He's getting a lot of steals and blocks lately, but like, I don't know how much we can rely on that, but I have no problem with dropping Jarris Walker. This person's name is Adam, so that means you have to answer the question. Julian Champagny or Cedric Coward for next week?
All right, let me get my Champagny's right.
Julian, we're in
San Antonio Champagny.
Coward does have a back-to-back in there where he hasn't played all of them. San Antonio only has a 3-game week. So I feel like you're kind of comparing 3 games to 3 games here. Yeah,
I think you are. Probably comes down to what you need a little bit. To me, Champagny is really just points and threes. He doesn't do a lot else. So I would go with Coward here. I think there's more upside for him to give you production across the board. You're on mute there. Should I read the question, maybe? No? Still can't hear you, Dan. Okay. I can't hear Dan. Can other people hear Dan?
Oh, I can't. I think I may have turned my microphone off because my kid's trying to bang into the room. Thank you.
Okay.
Well, everybody got to read along with this first one. This guy's trying to win free throws, rebounds, assists, steals, and turnovers, and wants to know if he should roll the dice on a Brooklyn net like Chaney Johnson or go with a safe option like Gary Payton II, Taylor Hendricks, or Time Lord. I am very much in camp. Play it safe. Especially when you know exactly what you're going to get with guys like Peyton and Hendricks and Robert Williams. When you're trying to win, Not trying to win blocks though, so I guess that makes the Time Lord a little bit less entertaining. I mean, I think Gary Payton is a perfectly reasonable play here. I don't know what the affection is for Brooklyn Nets. I don't want any Brooklyn Nets on my team. I can't stand it.
Yeah, no, I'd go Hendricks or Gary Payton there for your situation.
All right, the Lolo Llama. What to do for Leonard Miller next week? I have DiVincenzo and Iguodala both have 2 games. Perhaps add someone like a Harper or Miller. I'm assuming it's Dylan Harper.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure which Miller we're talking about here. Brandon is on a roster.
Well, it's Leonard Miller, I think.
Oh,
I think
Leonard Miller. Oh, yeah. Back to the. Okay, got it. I don't know. What do you do with Leonard Miller next week?
I don't mind.
They have 4?
I don't mind. If they have 4 games, he's probably going to play the back-to-back. I'd take 4 games of Leonard Miller over 2 games of Oso Ighodaro.
Oh, yeah. Totally agree.
Yeah.
Too Fast Feet said, love the show, daily listeners. You're welcome. Mike says, maybe you're allergic to fantasy. Tragic. Yeah. Maybe I'm allergic to stress. D Smooth in a super close matchup. Do I prioritize games played or attacking specific categories for the weekend? Can it be both?
Hopefully.
I feel like it should be. I feel like there should be a way to do both. Like a lot of dudes play twice, Friday through Sunday. I think 13. No, is it more? It's like 13 teams that have 2 games Friday through Sunday, right?
It's a lot. Yeah.
So you should be able to find somebody that gives you your categories and plays twice. I saw this question pop up and I was a bit confused because I feel like it's a person then that hasn't been listening to my show at least. Anyway, the question is, why are you sleeping on Christian Braun when he's been amazing the last few weeks? Even with Gordon back, I notice a pattern. Fantasy analysts stick with an original premise even when data shifts. My original premise was that Braun was going to be decent this year. I drafted him in a few spots in the 80s. He's been awful the whole season. And then for the last week on the show, I've said it looks like he's found his confidence. So I don't know. I mean, I think I've said pretty kind things about him. I've called him a guy that just needs to be rostered right now. I don't know if it's going to last. I don't know if this is the real Braun or if last year was the even better real Braun or if the beginning of this year, the very bad, I don't even want to take shots version was the right one. I'm also curious what happens when Peyton Watson comes back, but I don't know. I've called Christian Braun an ad for the last week or so. So I feel like maybe this person hasn't watched my shows in the last week. Anyway, I have. I've said it. Whatever. Keep going. Carl, is it worth it to grab Paul George? He's out for 2 more games, right?
Yeah, I think he's back early next week.
What are we doing there? So that's Philly. That would be tonight and Monday. He'd be back for a 2-game week next week, Wednesday and Saturday. Head to head, if my season doesn't go past next week, I think I'm a no. Roto, yes. Would you pick him up, hoping to get 2 good games next week?
Probably not. I mean, maybe. I guess you could get him depending when you have to add him. If you need to get him right now, I don't think I would because you're going to get 2 games in the next 10 days, and I don't think that's worth it. If you could hold off and pick him up sort of after the OKC game on Monday next week, then maybe you play him. But yeah, I do think he's going to come in and be really good. And if your playoffs or your league continues beyond next week, then I think you could consider that. Or as you said, if it's a roto league, but if next week is it for you, then I don't think 2 games of him in 10 days is enough.
I'm with you on that one. And by the way, if you think the 76ers end up in the play-in tournament, you can get that at -800. Yikes, that's too chalky over at FanDuel and the FanDuel Sportsbook. That's right. Dano slipped in the advertisement when nobody expected it. That's Philly's price. There are better prices out there, like the Raptors +200, Magic, or even money. If you think some of these teams kind of slide back a little bit, if Philly can push forward, that kind of thing. Let's see. What do we got here? Do you think Jalen Duren's ankle injury is serious? I don't know. I think you got to play this one day by day, don't you? I mean, how far out in front of it can you get if you're in a head-to-head playoffs? Right? To me, like Roto, you just wait to find out. We don't even know if he's out yet for tonight, do we? Has something broken while we've been talking?
No, not that I'm aware of. I can't see an update. So
Yeah,
yeah, I'm going to go with. I don't think it's too serious. They do. Who do they play tonight?
they got
They
tonight
play
and
the
then they're done for the week.
Warriors. Yeah, so they play the Warriors tonight, which yeah, I don't think it's serious. I think possibly he misses tonight's game, but it didn't sound too serious. I mean, Bickerstaff is terrible at anything, so I don't necessarily believe him when he says it's nothing. But yeah, I think if it was serious, he would have been ruled out already. So I'll go with no. I think he's okay.
Yeah, plus they play the Lakers on Monday, and we know everybody always plays when the Lakers are in town. Guys, I'm winning rebounds, assists, threes, and steals. So going to come down to 1 out of 3 categories: punts, blocks, or field goal percent. Oh, that's this Brown Mitch Rob question. I think didn't we do this one already? All right, we're going to move forward. All caps. Cameron says, do I give up on Embiid? Well, you've made it this far. I feel like now you've done the hardest part. Isn't he supposed to be back like within the next 1 or 2 ball games?
I think so. I think he was upgraded for their last game to doubtful, so that would indicate he's close. Again, though, I mean, their schedule next week: OKC, Chicago, Charlotte. It depends probably when do your playoffs end. What's your format? If next week is your last week, then I'm okay. Much like with Paul George, I'm okay moving on from Embiid.
I would probably, if you made it this far, my take is I'd probably try to last at least until Monday against Oklahoma City. If he gets punched out of that one, then you got a 2-game week max. Then you're in a little bit of trouble. This just says games cap, but I don't know what that ties into. I might have missed something here. I don't know.
Yeah.
This guy says, I'm pretty sure Peyton Watson's return will kill Cam and Brown's value. I'm not positive of that, but we'll obviously keep an eye on it. Archaic Sun. Oh, this is the I'd be dropping Leonard Miller to make the stream moves. I've lost the thread on some of these things, so we're going to just keep bouncing along because we only have like 14, 15 minutes left. Andrew Wiggins, is he done? I like the phrasing on this one. For the season? No, I think we see him before the regular season's over.
What I think we do. Yeah, it's tough. It's a tricky situation because we don't really have an update, but I don't think he's done. I do think he plays again.
But, I mean, if you're in your head-to-head playoffs, you should have dropped him ages ago. Can't. Provided you don't have an IL slot for him. Is Dante DiVincenzo droppable to pick up Paul George for next week? See, now that's a little more interesting because that's a 2-gamer exchanging for a better 2-gamer. I'm okay doing that if you can use a move this week that won't impact your ability to make it to next week. And that way it's kind of like you don't cut into your 4 next week. Does that work for you too or no?
Yeah, I think it's an upgrade if we're simply looking at 2 games versus 2 games. I'd rather 2 games of Paul George. So, but yes, I wouldn't want to use a move next week for that. I'd want to save my move. So if you can do that on Saturday, Sunday this week, then yeah, I think that's okay.
Baby Jesus, pick 2 for this weekend. Out of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We need to pick 2 out of 7. Hunting 3s, points, and assists. Gary Payton, Javon Small, Ty Jerome, Walter Clayton, Bilal, Bones, Scoot. I'm probably going Javon Small because I feel pretty confident he's going to play in both of their games. And I might go Bones for the other one, or maybe Scoot. I'm not sure Walter Clayton's going to play in both. I'm not sure Bilal's going to play in both. Ty Jerome is definitely not going to play in both. Gary Payton doesn't hit 3s and is somewhat unreliable in the other 2 categories. Yeah, I'm going to go I'll go Javon Small and Bones and no, Javon Small and Scoot, and then Bones is my backup option. What about you?
Yeah, I think yeah, that's sort of what I'm looking at this point as well. Who's going to play in both the games? So I would go with Small here, and maybe I'll go with Bones second, just because you went with Scoot second.
I know it's a coin flip,
just to confuse people.
Games cap question. That feels like it's pointed at me. Out of Taylor Hendricks, Tumani Kamara, Javon Small, Cam Johnson, or Cody Williams. Oh, I see. So who do you want to play in each spot? I think my favorite would be if Koulibaly plays tomorrow. He might get my call because the Wizards have so many guys out. I don't think I want Cody Williams tomorrow because I think the Jazz guys are going to be back. So I don't expect him to get 15, 16 shots. Javon Small tomorrow, when the Grizzlies rest some of their guys, might actually be my favorite in this whole bunch, but you didn't give me that choice here. My pick is Javon Small tomorrow. Whatever. Adam, is Precious Achua droppable?
I don't think so.
I agree.
He's still playing a lot, isn't he?
Yeah, he's doing fine. He had one game that wasn't outstanding. It was like fine.
He's still a hold. He's still playing 30 minutes a night. Sacramento, it's not like they've inherited common sense in the past 24 hours. So no, I would continue rolling with him.
Kingy, 12-team head-to-head points league. Should I drop any of Bub Carrington, DeJounte Murray, Jonathan Kuminga, or Tari Eason for any of these many names on the wire?
Carrington, don't drop DeJounte. I know he's missing back-to-backs, but he's playing really well.
He really is.
I'd be okay dropping Eason. I think at this point, just with how bad he's playing.
It's really crazy.
Who are we picking up there? God.
His choices are pretty whack.
Yeah. This is a silly season list if ever I've seen one.
Yikes. Ugly choices on the pickup side.
Look, I guess if we're looking at streaming here, so players to open a streaming spot for names such as these players, then I'd be okay dropping Eason to open a streaming spot. I'd be okay dropping Kuminga. I'd probably hold DeJounte, and I'd probably hold Bub Carrington. Trae Young's not coming back, so or not for a while. So I'd be okay opening up two spots there with Kuminga and Eason for insert player name here, depending on schedule.
And it is a points league. That's why Bub Carrington is a little bit less disgusting.
Yep.
Is Sar Washington. I like that we're starting to just call people by their last name and the team they're on. This is actually useful during silly season. But Alex Sar, I think we could have figured out. And a Hartenstein Thunder. That's a sweet name, by the way.
Yeah.
I am Hartenstein Thunder. Are they worth streaming tomorrow? I'm going to say yes on Sar because when he plays, he's typically pretty good. I guess he wasn't yesterday. But Hartenstein, not really. He's playing like 18 minutes, and he's mostly getting like 7 rebounds and 3 assists, and that's kind of it. So I'm going to say yes, Sar, no, Hartenstein.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I think so. I mean, depends what categories you need as well. But Hartenstein, they're being really cautious with him. They just want him for the playoffs.
A lot of questions. Good heavens, we're never going to catch up. We're probably not going to get to everything, guys, just as a warning. Right. So if you have something that's absolutely killing you, legitimately, you're going to probably need to do a super to get it to the top of the board.
I'll be able to hang around after you leave.
Oh, Kingy might do a few extra minutes. There you go. You should pay him for that. How are we feeling about KPJ and Isaiah Collier playing tomorrow? I think they probably will. What about you?
Yeah, I think so. Yep. Yeah, sure.
This person's handle is falling asleep.
Yes. Who would we stream on the Wizards? Ugh.
They're so gross. Vucevic is streamable. Koulibaly if he played both, but we don't know with this heel thing. He's off the injury report for Saturday, but that's not a guarantee he plays Sunday. I'd probably stream Will Riley in a points league on the weekend.
Yeah, he's questionable now, though. So,
did Riley get downgraded now also?
Yeah.
Oy vey. Yeah. I saw Trey Johnson got downgraded.
I would go with Bub Carrington. He hasn't missed a game for ever. So I think Carrington, if he's available, he's probably not. I would have said Will Riley as well, but if he's popped up on the injury report here, I don't know. Jameer Watkins, he had 7 defensive stats yesterday. That's something. He has a lot of steals, and he played in their last back-to-back, so maybe him.
Yikes.
I don't know. It's hard. It's hard when it
What?
comes to Washington.
That is an unpleasant team. I'm currently in the semis. This is Troy. What is the deal with Gafford? What's the deal? Well, this is like a Seinfeld joke. What's the deal? Also, same for Melton and Cheney. I mean, Melton skips a back to back. That's one we could pretty much bank on. Gafford's gonna just skip every other game or so. I mean, next week Gafford could go Monday, Wednesday, Friday. I wouldn't not super opposed to that. This Cheney Johnson thing, he keeps popping up everywhere. I have zero confidence in anything related to Cheney Johnson. I looking at next week's schedule, the Warriors are every other day. I think Melton would be my top choice of those three guys, and just hope he plays in all four.
Yeah, I think so. But I mean, I'm just looking at Cheney. Who the heck are you, Johnson? And he he has played roughly 25 minutes in the last 3 games. He's played over 20 in 5 straight. So I guess maybe you probably do get 4 games out of him. How productive they are, I don't know, but yeah, I think Melton would be the guy there.
Kingy, are you dropping DiVincenzo during their 2-game week?
In most situations, yes.
Me too. Can you rank the 9 cats in terms of variance and its scarcity? As in, would you rank steals and blocks as the most unpredictable? Yeah. I mean, free throw is pretty unpredictable. Field goal is pretty unpredictable. I don't know. I'm less worried about this stuff in head-to-head where you can really lean hard into it and you can wipe out. I know you as a quad punt guy, you have a similar feel on it, which is like, yeah, they're variant, but if I have 13 guys that are built into a particular model of play, then you eliminate a lot of that variance, because most likely some of those guys will have a down week when other ones have an up week.
Yeah.
And you kind of balance it out. I don't know. I feel like this is a thing we should worry more about in October when we're putting the team together, as opposed to right now where you're trying to wipe out that variance by hard punting and head-to-head, right?
Yeah, I will say at this time of year, those low volume categories, blocks, steals, are harder to project because, as I said, Jameer Watkins had 7 defensive stats yesterday.
Yeah, Hendricks had 9.
And that makes a difference. If you're trying to win steals, you're probably only going to win by 3 or 4 steals, like 35 to 31 or something. So if someone just randomly has 5 steals, that makes a huge difference. But the chance of Jameer Watkins scoring enough points to make a difference, I feel, is a lot lower. He's not going to come out and go off for 50 points. It just doesn't.
How dare
happen.
you? It's happening. It's happening tonight. Luka 60, Jameer Watkins 50.
Jameer Watkins 50. So I will say that, yeah, those low volume categories are tough.
Malachi Flynn did it.
He did.
It's a long time ago now. Is Grayson Allen worth holding only 2 games next week? No, because he's hurt right now.
Yeah.
If he was healthy, I might say yes, but if he was healthy, I'd say definitely hold through Tuesday. But I dropped him. I have him in a bunch of spots, and I dropped him in every head-to-head league because I can't wait that out. Can't take zeros. That's an easy one. We can zoom past that guy. I'm losing 4 to 5. I'm down 5 steals and 17 rebounds, so I save my 2 ads for the weekend or to use one now. Mitch Robb, Taylor Hendricks, I could get. Free throw percent is quite close as well. I mean, Kingy, I probably vote to use one now to make sure you're getting the guy who gets you the categories you need, unless the streamers you have right now are already really good at those specific categories. I would vote to swap over to a streamer who has an extra game and does the categories you want. Agree? Disagree?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I'd be okay using one of the moves. As I said, tomorrow is not a game where streaming is going to be easy. So I would, I would be okay using one now.
Kingy, with Zubac's OFS, that's the newest out for season, and Micah Potter missing time, is Kobe Brown worth an ad for next week?
Siakam's also out, so that helps. Look, I would say, based purely on opportunity, potential for minutes, playing time, sure. Production,
Yeah, he doesn't block many shots. He doesn't get many steals.
No, he's been playing minutes, over 20 minutes in a lot of games, but single digits, rebounds are fine, but he doesn't really get defensive stats, maybe some threes.
Adam,
Yeah,
what if I told you that you could have Nick Richards without the rebounding for a 4-game week? What would you
I
say?
wouldn't be excited about that.
Yeah, I think that's basically
No.
what we're looking at right now.
Yeah.
Kendrick says, I'm in my semis with a 50-point lead. That sounds good, but I don't play in points leagues. My opponent's used up all his ads. I have one more. Should I wait till Sunday or take a chance on Paul Reed if Duran is out? I would pick up somebody who has 2 games as opposed to Paul Reed with 1. He's done after today. Detroit's off this weekend. Get 2 games. Even one big Paul Reed game could be matched by some whack job playing twice.
Yep.
Excuse me. Sorry. I've tried to mute my mic every time I'm dealing with this weird podcast-related congestion. I'm allergic to podcasting right now. That's a shame. Which is, and by the way, I've done a bunch of baseball play-by-play games. My nose seems to be fine. It's not broadcasting. It's just
maybe
podcasting.
It's that backdrop of yours.
I think
it's been there for a long time.
I know, and the blind dog jumped right through it and smashed it, and so it like flops around now. I have it's hard to tell, but right here, you can just barely see it in the camera, is the bottom of a big bag clip that's holding the 2 pieces together. And behind, I have a pillow wedged to prop it from flopping over. Or Dan Bespers' unmade bed is going to jump back into fantasy shows. You're welcome, Matt. You the man. Emil asked, what's the best fantasy format for you? You and I are going to disagree vehemently on this one. You get to go first.
Head-to-head. And Roto.
Screw that! I know. Everybody likes head-to-head because there's an excitement factor, and Roto is not as exciting, but it is fair, and I like fair.
Yep.
And this time of year when we're laughing about Kobe Brown, on the Roto side, I'm like, meh, so my guy's out 2 days. I don't give a crap. You don't have to worry about it.
Yep.
It's for someone who's like probably developing a stress ulcer, Roto is much better. We got another Mitch Rob related question. Different user though. Taylor Hendricks or Mitchell Robinson, looking for threes, rebounds, blocks, and turnovers, possibly field goal percent. Well, I'm not going to drop anybody that has 2 games left, which are all 3 of the guys that you're looking at dropping here, Yo-Yo. Oh, threes, rebounds, block, turnovers. I mean, I guess DiVincenzo and Javon Small don't make a lot of sense for what you're hunting for. It just feels like there should be a way for you to maximize your games played, and you're not really taking it. If all you're doing is just swapping out and not gaining any games, then you could swap both. You could do Hendricks and Mitchell Robinson for DiVincenzo and Javon Small. Whatever. Let's go to the next one so we can do really fast because I got to get out of here in like the next 60 seconds. Wait a minute. Let me see if there's anything that I should answer before I turn the floor completely over to you and run the hell out of here. How many fans has Dan lost constantly asking for money? Constantly asking for money? I haven't even referred to the membership on a podcast since January, bro. If it's too much, you can go away. I'm fine. 1. It's really okay. Like, I don't feel bad asking for 99 cents. What's wrong with you people? Is this really that bad? Now I'm angry. All right, Kingy, the show is yours. I love the rest of you. Not that guy, though. You can just watch Kingy's show. I'm out of here. Now I'm pissed. I'm going to go do Little League with my son. It's more fun. Do all this work and get yelled at for asking for 99 cents. Boo on you.
Go and clear those sinuses, Dan.
Boo. As soon as I move around, I'll be fine. It's the weirdest thing. It's the darndest thing. Boo, I say. Kingy, love you, bud. I'll see you in a little bit.
Will do. All right. We will keep... Well, we don't need to see me that big, do we? Let's see where we were up to here. I think it was this one. This looks right. Eve Meesey, Prosper, Jay Huff for next week, 4-game points league. Who would I go with? I need a center. I'll go with Jay Huff, I think, in a points league. Yeah, let's go that way. No worries, Shining Knight. And Yuri the Guy. No problems at all. And yes, we all love Dan. We all love Dan. Tight match. Round one of the playoffs, 5-4. Many categories still up in the air. Do I drop Buzelis for Hendricks to try to secure the week but lose a potential difference maker next week? Ooh. Bulls. Yeah, 4 games for the Bulls next week. I don't know if I would. I'd need to see the rest of your roster to see who else you could drop for Hendricks. I do think getting Hendricks is good if you could do it, but I don't know if I'd drop Buzelis. Maybe there's someone else that we could drop. My question is, yes, this is Yuri the Guy. With a buy, should I save moves till the Sunday, or do I just pick up players for next week's schedule? Look, it's... I don't know. I don't think there's a right answer here. Obviously, if you wait till Sunday, you are maximizing the opportunity to understand injuries. So you might pick up someone, for example, tonight for next week who gets injured, and then you've wasted that. But you probably have multiple moves. So maybe you could use, say, if you have 4 moves, for example, you could use 2 of them and pick up a couple of guys based on next week's schedule. And then on Sunday, you can make 2 more moves if you need to, or reverse one of those moves if someone gets injured. So depending on how many moves you have, if you only have 2, I would possibly wait till Saturday, Sunday, because obviously there'll be players that maybe play tonight and tomorrow and then don't play again. So you'll actually know by Sunday. So yeah, it depends how many moves you have. Is category leagues better than a points league, in my opinion? Look, I think all formats have their pros and cons. I prefer category leagues. I'm not. Oh no, I'm in one points league, or I was in one points league this season. I just think category leagues are a bit more strategy is involved because you can punt, and I love to punt. So for me, that's why I go category leagues. I can punt categories and lean into specific builds. You can't do that in a points league. It's just which guys are getting the most points. But in saying that, they are a lot easier to manage, points leagues. So if you don't have as much time, or for me, I have how many leagues? I think I was in about 12 leagues this season. So when you're managing that many leagues, it is nice to have 1 or 2 points leagues in there because they don't require as much effort. Feels like adding PG only makes sense if you can flip him in and out of IL with someone else. Look, true, if we're looking at until he comes back, but I think once he's back, he plays. He was playing most games before he went down and he didn't get injured. So I do think he plays majority of games once he's back. This is just a comment. Season is going down to the wire and I'm sweating. I lost in the finals last season by 2 points and 3 rebounds and 1 turnover. Oh, man, yeah, it's nail-biting stuff this time of year. PG comes back next week. He does. He is back Tuesday, fairly certain. I want to just confirm that. I know it is early next week, but I just want to double check exactly what game it is. I don't want to talk out of turn. Okay, so 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. So, yes, he's missed 23 games of his 25 games. So he has 2 more games remaining on his suspension. Giannis has been a disappointment. Şengün too. What round do I think each goes next season? Giannis will go first round. I popped this up on Twitter yesterday and people called me out on it. Somehow I missed Shea. He is obviously a first rounder. I didn't put him in my tweet. That was just an oversight on my part, but he is obviously a first rounder. I think Giannis will go in the first round next season. Şengün, I think he probably still goes second round, maybe early third. I would sort of have him in that 20 to 30 range. I think that's probably where he goes. Ahead 6-3 finals. Swing categories are threes and stocks. Should I use my last add to drop Payne or wait for Sunday, but less exciting? Yeah, I'd be okay with that. Yeah, generally I like to wait for that last day, but and just keep in mind though that I think the Warriors are on a back-to-back. Am I right in saying that? Let me just double check the schedule here. Where are we? Golden State. Come on, schedule. Here we go. Golden State. Well, they yes, they are on a back-to-back. Friday, Saturday. So Saturday, 10 games. So just double check if you're picking up Gary Payton. Check your roster for tomorrow just to make sure that you will actually have him active, because one game of Gary Payton, probably not. But if he is going to play tomorrow, then yes, I would. Are we adding Shed for assist stream back-to-back Sunday, Monday? Oh, yeah. Okay, so that's Toronto. Yes, so we're talking about Shed. 16-teamer? Where's Jamal Shed? For assists. I guess you could. I mean, he's not that exciting, but in a 16-teamer, he could get you could get you 12 assists. Yeah, if it's purely assists that you're looking for, I think that's fine in a 16-teamer. Good luck. Probably grab. Okay, yep, that's just a comment. Who's potentially more trustworthy to play both games and offer most 3 steals, field goal, free throw percentage, turnover gain, and advantage in my matchup? How's a good one? Plowden, Chaney Johnson. Look, in terms of playing both, I mean, Hauser probably plays both, but he doesn't do anything. Plowden's interesting to me. I think he has been doing stuff. Where is he? Here he is. 32 minutes, 28 minutes, 31 minutes, 31 minutes, 30 minutes, 31 minutes, 35 minutes, double-digit scoring. I'm going to go Plowden there. Yeah, let's go with him. Jalen Smith for next week with no back-to-backs, first Chicago game, or Daquan. I'll go Daquan there, I think. Peyton, Hendricks, Iguodala on waivers. I have 2 pickups. Should I grab Gary or Taylor now and add Oso tomorrow after Tobias Harris plays, or drop Tobias and pick up Gary and Taylor now? All right. There's a lot of moving pieces there. Let me just bring up our schedule here so I can see. Tobias Harris plays. Who did Detroit play? Okay, so you're wondering, I guess, whether you should play Tobias tonight against the Warriors. And then add Oso tomorrow for the weekend back-to-back, or drop Tobias and pick up. Yeah, I mean, you're going to get, if you keep Tobias for tonight and then drop him, pick up Oso, you're going to get 3 games as opposed to 2 of the other 2. So I'd probably go with 3 over 2 in this instance. All right. We're near the bottom now. That's good. Do I think Booker plays both games this week? I mean, I assume you mean this weekend. I think so. Where are we? I know he's questionable. Who do they play? It's a tough one. I mean, he did suffer an ankle injury. He's saying it's not serious, but that you don't believe what players say. I'll go with yes. Although they do play the Bucks, who are one of the worst teams in the league right now. So possibly they sit him out in that first game and play him against Toronto. Okay, here's a follow-up question. on the pickup question, I can't remember where. Oh, that was the Iguodaro one. Okay. Field goal and free throws are out of reach. We're tied in threes, and I'm up 30 points, down 10 rebounds, up 40 assists, up 10, tied in turnovers. Should I focus on securing, try to make up ground in rebounds and blocks? Okay. Well, you have to win 5 categories. So percentages are gone. So that leaves 7 categories. So you need to win 5. So you're tied in threes, up in points, assists, steals, turnovers. So I guess have a look at what correlates here. So threes, points, assists, steals all tend to correlate. You can get a guard that gives you those things. Targeting, like if you want to get a bump in threes, which is pretty close, then you're probably going to get some points and assists potentially and steals. If you wanted to chase rebounds and blocks, that's probably going to help you in turnovers, but could hurt you in threes, for example. Like Mitch Robinson, for example, if you were to stream him in, he may help you in rebounds and blocks and turnovers, but he's a negative in threes. He's probably a negative in points, negative in assists. So it is tough here, but just keep in mind you have to win 5 categories and what correlates best. That's probably what I'd say. We had a question similar to this. I don't know if it was the same one. I have one ad left. A few categories still up for grabs. Do I use my last ad today or tomorrow for 2 games, or hold for Sunday when I know more? Look, you want to maximize your games played on any ad. So I would say probably trying to pick up someone who plays 2 games. Obviously, that comes with a bit of risk because we could get to Sunday and the player you added is then up on the injury report. So it is risky. If have a, again, look at your roster today and tomorrow. If you think you can win those categories or stay competitive in them, maybe you wait for Sunday, but generally I would go games played in that situation. Does Tari Eason play the Friday, Saturday back-to-back? I think he's been playing well. He's been playing. He hasn't been playing well. But I'm fairly certain he's playing back-to-backs at the moment, isn't he? Yeah, he is. Yeah, so I think he does. Yep. It doesn't mean you have to add him, but he does. Do I add Jalen Smith for Isaiah Jackson for 4 games next week? First 3 games, no back-to-back for Chicago. All right, I'm just changing my schedule grid here. Okay, so Clippers have 4 games as well. I don't. Probably depends what categories you need here, because Jalen Smith will help you with threes. Rebounds are fine, but Isaiah Jackson, I think, is better defensively. Field goal percentage is better. Doesn't get threes. He's rebounding, again, probably a neutral. So if we're just looking in a vacuum here, I think I'd prefer Isaiah Jackson. I just think he does a little bit more. For steals, would I pick up Kaysen, Keon, or Goodwin with 2 games? Ooh. Let's go. I'll go with Kaysen Wallace, I think. It's pretty close. Goodwin, if Booker is out, then he gets a bit of a bump. But if they're healthy or healthy as they have been, then I'll go Kaysen. It's a roll of the dice, honestly. All right. That's all the questions. We are bang on 1 hour. Time to get out of here. Thanks to Dan for jumping on, or he sort of hosted, I guess. I will be back this afternoon or tonight with a games recap, because all of the games are fairly early today. So I will be back before I have to head off for the afternoon. Pretty sure, with a quick one. I don't know. I'll look at timing, but hopefully there will be a recap show for Friday's games. There will definitely be one for Saturday's games. I will probably do a mailbag tomorrow as well ahead of Saturday's games. Appreciate everyone, as always, listening in, tuning in. I'll do some music to exit. I know we didn't do intro music, but that was because we were on both channels. But I'm going to do my music because Dan's not here anymore. Please go and like and download and subscribe and do all of those things. He was Dan Besperis. I am Adam King. This has been Stuff It, a Fantasy Basketball podcast, and the Old Man Squad Fantasy Basketball podcast. We'll shout out to Dan. Catch everyone later today.
Lights they flicker and the candles glitter like you're in a thriller. Heart goes pound, pound, pound. Ghostly figures, they can get so bitter. Sure you want to until you can turn back. You